Let's be brutally honest for a second. What if everything you've been taught about attraction is backwards? What if your kindness, your endless patience, even your emotional availability are quietly killing the very spark you're trying to ignite? This isn't dating advice from some pickup artist. This is ancient truth, reforged through Stoic philosophy and sharpened by raw human nature. And yeah, it might sting. Arthur Schopenhauer once said, "Clarity hurts before it heals." The Stoics would nod in agreement, because real attraction isn't built on flattery or compromise. It's forged in self-mastery, unshakable presence, and the quiet confidence that comes when you stop begging for approval and start embodying worth. If you've ever felt confused, rejected, or like you're giving everything but getting nothing back, this video is your reset button. Stick around, because by the end, you'll see relationships not as games to win, but as mirrors revealing your own inner strength. Don't forget to hit subscribe and stay until the final truth. It's the one most men never recover from. Now, let's begin. 1. If you pedestalize her, you've already lost her respect. Here's a hard truth most men learn too late. Worship doesn't create love, it creates contempt. When you put someone on a pedestal, you're not elevating them, you're diminishing yourself. And attraction? It runs on perceived value. The moment you act like she's flawless, untouchable, or above human error, you signal one thing loud and clear. You don't see yourself as her equal. The Stoics warned against this. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And how do most men react to a woman they admire? They shrink, they overcompliment, they tiptoe around her moods like she's made of glass. But here's the irony. Women don't feel cherished by that behavior. They feel burdened, because deep down, they know. A man who idolizes is a man who can't lead. Think about it. Would Marcus Aurelius have begged for approval from someone he respected? No. He governed an empire with calm authority, not because he was cold, but because he understood his own worth. That's the energy that draws people in, not groveling, not flattery. Presence. Pedestalizing also removes mystery, the very fuel of long-term attraction. Once you've declared her perfect, there's nothing left to discover. Worse, you set her up for failure, because no human can live up to divine status. And when she inevitably shows her flaws, as all humans do, your disillusionment becomes her betrayal, even though you created the illusion in the first place. So stop worshiping. Start relating. See her fully, strengths, weaknesses, contradictions, and hold your ground with quiet confidence. That's not disrespect. That's the foundation of real respect from both sides. Comment below. Have you ever put someone on a pedestal and watched the connection crumble? What did you learn? 2. Neediness kills attraction fast. Let's cut through the noise. Neediness isn't love. It's fear in disguise. And nothing repels attraction faster than a man who acts like his survival depends on her reply, her approval, or her presence. The Stoics were crystal clear on this. You are only free when you stop needing external validation to feel whole. Modern dating culture tells men to be vulnerable, which sounds noble, until vulnerability becomes emotional dumping, constant check-ins, or frantic attempts to prove loyalty. That's not connection. That's dependency masquerading as intimacy. And women sense it instantly. Not because they're cruel, but because biology and psychology are wired to respond to strength, not suffocation. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Yet so many men hand over that power the moment they start texting, "Hey, "Everything okay?" after 2 hours of silence. They mistake attention for affection, availability for commitment. But here's what neediness actually communicates. I don't trust myself to handle life without you. And if you don't trust yourself, why should she? Attraction thrives in space, not clinginess. It grows when a man is grounded in his own purpose, calm in uncertainty, and unshaken by temporary distance. That doesn't mean being cold or indifferent. It means being emotionally self-sufficient. A woman wants to add to your life, not fix it or complete it. Think of it like fire. Too much air, and it dies. Too little, and it suffocates. Neediness is smothering the flame with your hands, terrified it'll go out. But real confidence lets it burn freely, because you know you can build another if needed. Ask yourself, when was the last time you waited calmly instead of chasing? Did it change how she responded? Drop your experience in the comments. We read everyone. 3. She doesn't want control. She wants to feel your certainty. Here's a paradox most men miss. Women don't crave control in a relationship. They crave certainty. And those are opposites. Control is about micromanaging outcomes. Certainty is about unwavering inner alignment. One breeds resentment. The other breeds trust and attraction. When a man lacks certainty, he outsources his decisions. He asks, "What do you want to do?" Not from generosity, but from fear of choosing wrong. He changes plans last minute to please her. He avoids taking the lead because he's terrified of rejection. But here's what that signals. I don't trust my own judgment. And if you don't, why should she? The Stoics lived by one principle above all. Live according to nature. And human nature, especially in high-stakes emotional dynamics, seeks stability. Not rigidity, but groundedness. A woman doesn't need you to be right all the time. She needs to feel that you're at peace with your choices, even when they're imperfect. That's magnetic. Marcus Aurelius didn't consult the Senate before deciding to ride into battle. He assessed, chose, and moved with calm resolve. That's not arrogance. It's responsibility. And in romance, that same energy says, "I've got this. You can relax." Certainty isn't about dominating. It's about clarity. Knowing your values. Holding boundaries without apology. Planning a date with intention, not just filling time. Saying, "This is what I believe," instead of "whatever you think is fine." And yes, she might push back sometimes. But that's not resistance to your leadership. It's a test to see if your certainty is real or just performance. 4. She will test your emotions. Not to hurt you, but to feel your strength. Let's talk about something no one wants to admit, but everyone experiences. Emotional testing. It's not manipulation, it's instinct. And if you take it personally, you fail the test before it even begins. A woman might withdraw suddenly, say something provocative, act distant after intimacy. To the insecure mind, this feels like rejection. But the Stoics would see it differently. They'd recognize it as a probe, a quiet question whispered through behavior. Are you steady? Can I trust your center when things get messy? Epictetus taught that it's not what happens to you, but how you respond. And in attraction, your response is your value. If you panic when she goes silent, if you beg, overanalyze, or retaliate with coldness, you reveal fragility. But if you remain calm, grounded, and emotionally sovereign, that's when respect deepens. These tests aren't malicious. They're evolutionary. For millennia, women needed to know, is this man someone who crumbles under pressure or holds firm when life gets hard? A fleeting mood shouldn't derail you. A minor disagreement shouldn't send you into spiral. Because real strength isn't loud. It's quiet consistency in the face of chaos. And here's the key. Don't pass the test by pretending. Don't suppress emotions or play games. The Stoics weren't about repression. They were about mastery. Acknowledge your feelings, yes, but don't let them dictate your actions. Respond with clarity, not reactivity. Say, I noticed you've been distant. Everything okay? Then give space. No guilt, no drama, just presence. That's what makes her feel safe. Not perfection, but unshakable reliability. Comment below. Have you ever misread a test as rejection and reacted in a way you later regretted? What would you do differently now? 5. A woman is drawn to direction, not discussion. Let's be clear. Endless consensus seeking isn't romance. It's paralysis disguised as partnership. Women aren't attracted to men who treat every decision like a committee meeting. They're drawn to men who move with purpose. The Stoics didn't debate whether to act. They acted in accordance with reason and virtue. Marcus Aurelius didn't poll his generals before marching into winter. He assessed, decided, and led. And that same energy, calm, decisive, unapologetic, is what creates magnetic attraction in modern relationships. Too many men confuse being considerate with abdicating leadership. They ask, where do you want to eat? What should we do this weekend? Do you think we should see each other again? Not out of generosity, but out of fear. Fear of choosing wrong, fear of displeasing, fear of seeming too much. But here's the irony, that fear reads as weakness, and weakness doesn't inspire love, it invites anxiety. Direction isn't about control. It's about clarity of intent. It's saying, I'm taking you to this rooftop bar Friday at 8. Wear something that makes you feel powerful, instead of texting 10 options and waiting for approval. It's planning a weekend trip based on shared interests, not outsourcing your agency to her mood. And yes, collaboration matters, but only after you've shown you can stand on your own 2 feet. A woman wants to co-create with a man who already has a vision, not fill the void for one who doesn't. Think of it like dancing. If both partners wait for the other to lead, you just stand there awkwardly shuffling. But when one steps forward with confidence, the other follows, and the magic begins. Comment below. When was the last time you took clear, calm direction in a relationship? And how did she respond? We want to hear your story. 6. If you abandon your mission for her, you'll lose both. This might be the most tragic mistake good men make. They trade purpose for proximity. They dim their fire to keep someone warm, only to realize too late that she never loved the warmth. She loved the flame. The Stoics were unequivocal. Your highest duty is to live in accordance with your nature and reason. That means pursuing your mission, not as a side hustle, but as your core identity. When you sideline your purpose to be more available, avoid conflict, or prove your commitment, you don't become more lovable. You become less you. And attraction dies not from distance, but from inauthenticity. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire while writing Meditations, not because he had no time for love, but because he knew. A man without purpose has nothing of lasting value to offer. Women sense this instinctively. They don't want a man who rearranges his life around them. They want one whose life is so compelling, they want to be part of it. Abandoning your mission doesn't signal devotion. It signals insecurity. It says, I believe I must choose between my path and you. But mature love isn't a zero-sum game. It's 2 whole people choosing each other while walking their own roads. And here's the brutal truth. If she truly respects you, she won't ask you to shrink. She'll admire your discipline, your drive, your refusal to betray yourself, even if it means less time together. Because deep down, she knows. A man who sacrifices his mission for romance will eventually resent her for it. So protect your purpose, like your life depends on it. Because your attractiveness does. Comment below. Have you ever compromised your mission for a relationship? And what did it cost you? Or maybe you held firm and saw respect grow. Share your truth. 7. She can love you deeply, but she must respect you first. Let's end with the foundation everything else rests on. Love without respect is just dependency wrapped in emotion. And no woman, no matter how kind, nurturing, or affectionate, can sustain genuine attraction toward a man she doesn't respect. This isn't about status, money, or charm. It's about integrity. The Stoics defined respect as earned through consistency between your words and actions, your values and your choices. If you say you value discipline, but cancel plans when you're tired, you teach her to doubt your word. If you claim loyalty, but gossip when frustrated, you erode your own credibility. Respect isn't demanded, it's demonstrated. Daily, quietly, relentlessly. And here's what most men miss. A woman can feel for you deeply, care for you, desire you, even sacrifice for you. But if respect is missing, that love becomes unstable. It turns anxious, resentful, or performative. Because deep down, she knows. A man who lacks self-respect cannot truly honor her either. Marcus Aurelius never wrote about winning women. He wrote about being worthy of his own admiration. And that's the secret. When you live by principle, when you keep promises to yourself, face discomfort without complaint, and refuse to betray your code for temporary comfort, you radiate a quiet authority that commands respect and ignites lasting love. Love follows respect, not the other way around. Comment below. Have you ever been loved but not respected? Or respected but not loved? Which felt more sustainable? Your insight could help someone watching right now. Let's be clear. These truths aren't about control. They're about clarity. Pedestalizing, neediness, and abandoning your mission don't win love. They erode respect. And without respect, even deep affection becomes unstable. The Stoics didn't chase approval. They cultivated self-mastery. That's the real source of attraction. Unwavering certainty, quiet strength, and purpose that doesn't bend for validation. Women aren't testing you to hurt you. They're sensing whether you're solid ground or shifting sand. Master yourself, not her. Align with truth, not fantasy. If this hit home, comment below. Which point changed your perspective? And if you're done with illusions, hit subscribe. We cut through noise with philosophy that lasts. Stay grounded, stay free,